In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a driving method that works in all cars and will allow you to drive any car smoothly. If you're a learner driver that needs insurance, there's a great deal via the link in the description to Collingwood Insurance at the moment. More on that one later. Now, I've already done videos on more advanced techniques for changing gear, such as heel and toe rev matching and blipping the throttle and upshifts. But this is a simple method that anyone can do, and it will work in any car. So let's get started. Firstly, I'm going to show you how to move any car smoothly. This will work on a flat. It won't work on hills because you'll roll down the hill. If you want to know how to do hill starts, top right hand corner of your screen, there should be a link. So firstly, I'm going to demonstrate what to do. Then I'm going to tell you what I did. So clutch down, first gear, handbrake off. I'm going to set the gas so it's between 1,000 and 2,000 RPM. Don't want much more than 2 because you will start to overheat the clutch. And then when no one's coming, I'll lift the clutch slowly until the car starts moving. Now the car's moving, I hold the clutch steady and I wait on the clutch bite point. Once the engine speed starts increasing like it is now, I can come fully off the clutch. It's really important to hold the clutch steady as the car starts. So what I did there was I pushed the clutch down, put it in first gear and took the handbrake off. As I wasn't on a hill, didn't matter, the car's not going to roll anywhere. Then I added some gas until the revs are between 1,000 and 2,000 RPM. 1,500 RPM is ideal, but no more than 2. And then I lifted the clutch slowly. Now the important bit is when you get to the clutch bite point, the car starts moving. That's how you know you're at the bite point. Also the revs start to drop a little bit as the clutch uses those revs. The important bit is you stop lifting once you get to the clutch bite point, because the clutch is now doing its job and you've got to give it time to do its job. If you keep lifting it higher and higher and higher, the car's going to kangaroo and you're not going to move away very smoothly. When the clutch has finished its job, you can normally tell because the revs start to rise again. Sometimes they drop a little bit more before they rise, but once that starts happening, you know the clutch is finished, you can come fully off the clutch. So here's another demonstration of moving away smoothly. Clutch down, first gear, handbrake off, add a little bit of gas so you've got some revs. There we go, just over 1,500 RPM of revs. Look round, no one's coming, lift the clutch slowly. When I reach the bite point, there it is, I hold the clutch steady and wait. So wait on the clutch, holding the clutch steady, and now the engine's starting to go up in pitch and the revs are starting to rise. I can come fully off the clutch because the clutch has finished its job. You may have been told that you don't have to pause on the clutch, you can just come off the clutch slowly. But when you do that, quite often the car kangaroos up the road, you don't have much control of your acceleration as you move away, and you can stall if you don't have enough gas. So I'll demonstrate that now. So clutch down, first gear, handbrake off. I'm going to give some gas and I'm just going to come off the clutch slowly and see what happens. So no one's coming off the clutch slowly. So I don't know if that come across on camera, but the car sort of jumped forwards as I moved away. It didn't accelerate smoothly. And that's because the clutch doesn't have time to do its job. The clutch has a job to do, and that job is to match the engine speed with the gear speed. And if you try and do it too quickly, they're going to come together too quickly and the car's going to suddenly leap forwards instead of accelerating gently. You may have been told that you can come off the clutch without the gas, or you may have been told just to come off the clutch slowly without pausing. Well, if you do either of those, you're likely to move away in a jerky manner and you're likely to stall. Not adding gas means you're likely to stall because different cars give you different amounts of help, whereas not adding gas in one car might work. You'll get in a different car and it won't work, you will stall. You're relying on the car's computer to add gas for you when you don't add gas yourself, and not all computers add much gas for you. And if you don't hold it on the clutch bite point, the car will lurch away quickly or kangaroo because you're not giving the clutch a chance to slowly speed up the wheels and gradually make them match the engine speed. So this is what happens if you do both of those things. If I put the clutch down, put it in first gear and take the handbrake off, I'm not going to give gas and I'm not going to pause on the bite point. Let's see what happens. And there we go, that's stalled. This time I'm going to move away without giving gas but hold it on the clutch bite point to see if that works in this car. Pay attention to the engine revs when I do this, because although I'm not going to press the gas, you'll see those revs go up a little bit as the car's computer adds the gas for me. Luckily this car does actually add gas for me, so I can get away with lifting the clutch up without gas. Doesn't work in all cars though. So clutch down, first gear, and handbrake off. No one's coming, let's lift the clutch to the bite point. Revs build up on their own. I'm not touching the gas pedal, holding the clutch on the bite point, and when it's reached about 4 or 5 miles an hour, most cars, the clutch will be done. If you're not using gas, you can come fully off the clutch. Another problem with using that method is you're not going to be able to move away very quickly. If you're on a busy roundabout and you've only got small opportunities, which is the norm in some parts of the UK, you're not going to have the skill to give some gas and lift the clutch up to give yourself that fast start to take a smaller opportunity. So I really recommend practice adding gas, then lifting clutch up, instead of just lifting clutch up on its own. Although that may be easier to begin with when you're in a quiet residential road in a modern car that gives gas for you, when you start to venture out into faster, more busy roads, you're going to struggle more. Something else that can also make you jerky when you're driving is when you're just starting to set off and you need to suddenly slow down. When you add gas and lift the clutch to the bite point to start moving, what you don't want to do is reduce gas. If you reduce gas, the car will jerk and slow down. It will slow down, but it will slow down in a very jerky way. What you need to do is push the clutch back down and then add brake if you need to. So whilst you're still on the gas and at the bite point, you push the clutch down first, then you'll come off the gas and use the brake. If you come off the gas whilst you're at the bite point, the car is always jerky. So let me demonstrate that to you now. I'm going to move away, I'm going to start moving away, and then I'm going to suddenly decide, oh, I need to slow down. I'm going to show you how I do that. So handbrake off, clutch is down, I'm in first gear. I'll get some gas, look around and make sure it's safe. I'll lift the clutch to the bite point to start moving. Now I'm moving, I think, oh, I want to stop. So clutch down and then add a bit of brake. And that's very smooth. I can do that again, bit of gas, bit of bite point, moving again. This might happen in traffic, say, clutch down again, and then add some brake to slow down. Or if you don't need to add some brake, you can just let it roll if that happens to be the speed that you want to stay at. So now I'm going to show you how to change gear smoothly in any car. When the revs get to around about 2,000, maybe 2,500, try and keep them there. Try not to be accelerating, try not to slow down, try and steady the car like I am now. Then clutch down and off gas, and then move the gear stick. Add a little bit of gas and very slowly come off the clutch. You shouldn't need a pause on the bite point. There is a method of pausing on the bite point which will speed up your gear changes, but this is the easy method that will work in all cars. I'm around 2,000 RPM again, so I'm holding the gas steady. I'm not letting it accelerate or slow down. I'll clutch down again and off gas, into third, a little bit of gas, and slowly bring the clutch up. That will work in all cars. A problem with that method you may have is you'll give too much gas as you lift the clutch up. That takes practice. Once you get the gas control right, you will find that method easier. However, there is a way around this problem. If you give too many revs, instead of slowly coming off the clutch all the way, slowly come off the clutch until you get to the bite point and then hold it there for a second. The clutch will bring those revs down to where they need to be. You will know you're at the bite point because the car will start to accelerate a little bit and you'll hear the revs start to come down as the clutch brings those revs down. There is actually an even easier way to change gear, but it doesn't work in all cars. For example, in this car, it does work because the car doesn't slow down too much. But if you use this method in other cars, the car will slow down too much. So I recommend the first method that I just mentioned to you. But I'm going to show you this method anyway. So I'm going to get going. And what I'll do, instead of pushing the clutch down and coming off the gas, I'll just come off the gas and then clutch down, then change the gear and then clutch up and then add the gas. This car really doesn't slow down much when I do that. I can do it again, off gas, clutch down, into third, clutch up and add gas. And because it doesn't slow down, it makes it very easy to drive and it makes it very easy for me to help learners who are just starting out, because I can give them a gear change method that's really easy, builds their confidence up, and as they get better at driving, then I'll move on to the more tricky but more reliable method of holding the gas gently on, clutch down then off gas, change the gear and then add a little bit of gas before lifting the clutch again. Did you get that? And that really is the problem with changing gears. When you change gears, the car wants to slow down. And that's why changing down gears can actually be very easy, because when you're changing down gears, you want to be slowing down. So you're not trying to fight the fact that the car wants to slow down as you change gears. It's helpful. So let me show you how I would change down gears easily, or how I would teach people to change down gears, because it's the easiest way. So I'm just going to move away and get up into third gear. And when I'm in third gear, I'm going to slow down by changing down to second gear. So I'll come off the gas now, clutch down into second, and then I'll lift the clutch to the bite point. When it starts slowing, I'll hold the clutch there. The revs will start building up. When the revs have finished building up, I know the clutch is finished, so I can come fully off the clutch. And that's how you change down gears smoothly while slowing down. What you need to understand is that when you go down a gear, your clutch has a much bigger job to do than when you go up a gear. So you can't just slowly come off the clutch. You will have to hold the clutch on the bite point, as I did in that demonstration. You know you're at the bite point because the revs start rising. You know the clutch has finished its job because the revs stop rising, and they'll continue to come back down again if you stay off the gas, helping you slow down. But what if you want to change down a gear without slowing down? So firstly, I'm going to show you going down a gear if it's slowing down again, so you can see how it slows you down. I come off the gas, clutch down into second, I lift the clutch slowly until the revs start rising and the car starts slowing, hold the clutch steady until the revs stop rising, and then I can come fully off the clutch. But I've slowed down a lot, and what I want to do is change down a gear without slowing down. Say if I want to accelerate more to overtake something. So I'm going to go into third gear again and go a bit faster. This time, instead of coming off the gas, I'm going to push the clutch down but keep a little bit of gas on, and I should be able to slowly come off the clutch without slowing down. So clutch down with a little bit of gas on, maybe a little bit more gas, into second, and slowly come off the clutch. And I didn't slow down at all. Therefore, I'm ready now in that lower gear to give a bit of power and accelerate quickly. Can't go much faster than that because I am only in a 40 limit at the moment. So I'll go back up to third gear and show you that again. I want to go back down to second, so I keep the gas on, clutch down, maybe add a little bit more gas, into second, and slowly come off the clutch. And there you go, change down to second without slowing down at all. Especially helpful if you want to prepare yourself to overtake something, because lower gears give you much more pulling power, enabling you to overtake, say, a cyclist or a slow moving vehicle. What can be really helpful when you want to slow down smoothly is make sure you let engine braking do some of the slowing down for you. And what I mean by that is come off the gas and let the car start to slow down nice and early, because that'll help you gauge how much brake you need so you don't brake in a very jerky fashion. To do that, you must stay off the clutch until the clutch is needed. Wait until the revs get down to about 1,000 before you push the clutch down. That way, the engine's going to help you slow down as much as it can, which will make your life a lot easier. So I want to slow down smoothly and stop at the side of the road. So I'll come off the gas first, feel how much it's slowing down. In this case, it's not slowing down much at all. I'll start adding some brake gradually until I get my desired level of brake, and that feels nice there. It's slowing down nicely. And when the revs get to 1,000, then I'll press the clutch down and continue braking. Don't come off the brake as you press the clutch down. A lot of learners make that mistake. I'll continue braking, and when I've finished stopping or nearly finished stopping, I'll reduce the brake a little bit to make the stop smooth, to make the ending smooth and give you that chauffeur finish. If you want a video on how to brake smoothly, there is a video in the top right hand corner of your screen. Check it out. Well, I hope this video helps you drive all cars smoothly. If you think it will, please give it a thumbs up and check out Collingwood and Confused.com. Collingwood are great if you're learning to drive and want to insure yourself on somebody else's car, because you can do so without affecting their policy. And there's a link in the description at the moment which not only supports this channel, but it will support you, because you can get up to 35% off, and there's a £20 Amazon gift card in there as well. You can get short-term and long-term policies, and if you get a long-term policy and cancel early, you do get a pro rata refund for the remaining term. However, make sure you compare your insurance, because you want to make sure you get a good deal. Check out the link to Confused.com. That link supports this channel, but it also means you can compare the price with Collingwood and other insurers to make sure you're getting the best deal. I find Confused.com often come out with some of the best prices. If you want to get my future videos, please subscribe, and until the next one, cheerio.